what is the correct size of a buffering system? That's an interesting question, and I could take the occasion of a call that I had with the CEO of a very famous OEM producer of packaging machines last week. We are making a proposal together to a multinational customer that we share, and the customer asked us for a very big buffering time, 15 minutes, which is very long considering that the production, I cannot enter into the details, of course, because of non-disclosure agreements. Let's call it that way. But it's not fresh food. It's not the kind of product that requires to empty completely the processing unit. It's long shelf life product, so the requirement for such a long time, it's odd for us, and it makes me ponder and inspire me to discuss this topic today, because it forces us, this kind of request forces us to get outside our typical range of proposal, and that would be to provide a buffer that is okay for 3 to 5 minutes, which is the time in which normally an idle stop of a packaging machine can be solved by a trained operator without any big deals. Especially considering that the packaging machine nowadays have very high efficiencies and they have no problem in clearing gems in a very short time. So what's happening? From our point of view, a machine to handle such long time, it gets bigger, it gets more complicated, either mechanically or from the software point of view, and of course it gets much more expensive, and this is bringing it a little bit out of our philosophy. For us, the sweet spot for a buffer should be those 3 to 5 minutes, because depending on the markets, but those 3 to 5 minutes allow us to have a simple machine that most of the time is just conveyors with an in and out system that may be getting a little bit tricky, but still it's just conveyors with a little bit of handling. The software is not going to be overly complicated. It's going to be a reliable machine. That is the third thing that you ask from a buffer, because if you are putting inside a machine that is trying to cope with another machine stops, it needs to be overly reliable. It's not taking too much floor space, and it is cost effective. It must be cost effective, otherwise it makes no sense. If you have a buffering system that comes up to have values that are equal or exceed the one of a downstream packaging machine, you may very well put another packaging machine and keep it in standby, so you will never stop the production. So that's it. That's the reason why I think for each line the correct buffering time should be very well thought thoroughly, and should allow you to keep the mechanics, the software, the footprint, and the cost of the buffer at bay in order to have the best price to efficiency ratio. That's it. Don't try to go over this. You may have a reason. These are debatable. We can discuss that in the comments if you prefer, but these are the golden rules that you should follow to size correctly a buffer.